Welcome to Truthzilla 9/11 special bonus episode. We did harmony, you guys. I've been trying to get us to do that for so long.
Finally,
Beautiful Megan, the other Scott.
Yeah,
Scott guy. Yeah.
And
the
awesome
amazing Ed.
Incredible.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Do it in the show.
So it took the tragedy of 9/11 to get us to harmonize finally correctly.
Yeah,
but,
I guess so.
Anyway, here we are. You guys, it is what it is. Here we are, 19 years later. What the hell?
19 years.
God, throughout this whole thing, right? Tim Dillon's been keeping me laughing, the Tim Dillon show, and one of my most favorite things ever. I just literally was laughing out loud when I heard him say this. It's just like this whole in relation to this whole COVID thing. He's like, why can't this be more like 9/11? God, 9/11 was so nice compared to all this. You know what I mean? So, but bittersweet.
But he has a point.
He has a point. Yeah, 9/11 brought us together.
I was much sleepier then.
Yeah, much sleepier then. 9/11 brought us all together, and like these fires we're experiencing here in Oregon have brought us all together. Our Antifas and our Freedom Patriot Prayer people are coming together and feeding displaced homeless, people in Oregon. Maybe not. I don't know. Whatever. But it's a beautiful thought. So, and anyway, to commemorate,
the people are coming together despite the government's agenda.
Yeah. Despite them doing their best to keep us apart. That's
sure.
one of the things that they didn't think in all these fires that they started is that. I'm sorry, bad joke. But at the same time, they didn't.
But I think that there's something to be said that they possibly did.
Check the episode out on Sunday. We're gonna get more into that, folks. But anyway, so I don't know. I just thought we'd just do a little homage, a little tribute, a little testament to, the tragedy that happened 19 years ago today, and then also, just shout out to our boy James Corbett, man. Just always the best stuff ever. So we're gonna just do a little react to one of his most famous.
And if you're watching this, then you probably are already know what the scam of 9/11. I mean, there's all kinds of theories, but
this is an entertaining little nugget.
Let's check it out.
So again, you guys, James Corbett, CorbettReport.com. Support him. He's got a member section. It's just donation based. Please support him. Please support him. We're not asking for money. Go whatever money you want to donate to us. Go donate to him, please. We're keeping it humble for now.
Or Dean.
So, or Dean
we
for
love
sure.
Dean.
Yeah.
We do. I can't. I really have to give a shout out again to Dean. Dean Reiner.
Dean.
Check of the Up Is Down podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Go check him out.
Yep. All right, guys. Here we go. This is 9/11: A Conspiracy Theory by James Corbett.
On the morning of September 11th, 2001, 19 men armed with box cutters directed by a man on dialysis in a cave fortress halfway around the world using a satellite phone and a laptop directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat-trained pilots on 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers, devout religious fundamentalists who like to drink alcohol, snort cocaine, and live with pink-haired strippers, managed to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes in New York. While in Washington, a pilot who couldn't handle a single-engine Cessna was able to fly a 757 in an 8,000-foot descending 270-degree corkscrew turn to come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon and the Budget Analyst Office where DoD staffers were working on the mystery of the $2.3 trillion that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld had announced missing from the Pentagon's coffers in a press conference the day before, on September 10th, 2001. Luckily, the news anchors knew who did it within minutes.
Osama bin Laden.
The pundits knew within hours.
Osama bin Laden.
The administration knew within the day.
Terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them.
And the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap.
That a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that.
But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. That investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail, a conflict of interest, and a cover-up from start to finish.
Yes.
It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed. It failed to mention the existence of WTC-7, Able Danger, P-TECH, Sibel Edmonds, OBL and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, And as for Bush and Cheney, well, no one knows what they told it because they testified in secret, off the record, not under oath, and behind closed doors. It didn't bother to look at who funded the attacks because that question is ultimately of little practical significance.
According to the commission report.
Still, the 9/11 Commission did brilliantly answering all of the questions the public had, except most of the victims' family members' questions, and pinned blame on all of the people responsible, although no one so much as lost their job, determining the attacks were
failure of imagination.
Because
Nobody in our government, at least, and I don't think the prior government that could envision flying airplanes into buildings.
except the Pentagon, FEMA, NORAD, and the NRO. The DIA destroyed 2.5 terabytes of data on Able Danger, but that's okay because it probably wasn't important. The SEC destroyed their records on the investigation into the insider trading before the attacks, but that's okay because destroying the records of the largest investigation in SEC history is just part of routine record keeping.
Yeah.
NIST has classified the data that they used for their model of WTC7's collapse, but that's okay because knowing how they made their model of the collapse would jeopardize public safety. The FBI has argued that all material related to their investigation of 9/11 should be kept secret from the public, but that's okay because the FBI probably has nothing to hide. This man never existed, nor is anything he had to say worthy of your attention, and if you say otherwise, you are a paranoid conspiracy theorist and deserve to be shunned by all of humanity. Likewise him, and her, and her, and her, and him. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. Then he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away. Then he lived in Abbottabad for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence dragnet employing the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for a decade, releasing video after video with complete impunity and getting younger and younger as he did so, before finally being found in the daring SEAL team raid which wasn't recorded on video, in which he didn't resist or use his wife as a human shield, and in which these crack special forces operatives panicked and killed this unarmed man, supposedly the best source of intelligence about those dastardly terrorists on the entire planet. Then they dumped his body in the ocean before telling anyone about it. Then a couple dozen of that team's members died in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. This is the story of 9/11, brought to you by the media which told you the hard truths about...
His head could be seen to move violently forward.
And...
They took the babies out of the incubators.
And...
Mobile production facilities.
And...
The rescue of Jessica Lynch.
If you have any questions about this story, you are a batshit, paranoid, tinfoil, dog-abusing baby hater and will be reviled by everyone. If you love your country and or freedom, happiness, rainbows, rock and roll, puppy dogs, apple pie, and your grandma, you will never ever express doubts about any part of this story to anyone. Ever. This has been a public service announcement by the Friends of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DIA, SEC, MSM, White House, NIST, and the 9/11 Commission. Because ignorance is strength.
Yay!
Oh, well done.
Oh,
Right?
God.
Yay, dude. Awesome. I mean, there's so many. I mean, God, just pick one of those. Just you know, if this is new to you for any one of those, like for me personally, like I need to go look into Able Danger a little bit more.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But you know, it's just like just pick one of them and just start unraveling it, dude. One of the ones I've been trying to get Megan to watch. It's called 9/11 New Pearl Harbor. It's like the definitive.
I want to insert and say, is that the 5 hour?
That's the 5 hour one. That's the 5 hour.
This is why Megan hasn't watched it yet.
Okay. But it's great. It's great. You know what I mean? Like just even like we could do simple ones. Loose Change, man. Our buddy Jason Burmis, Info Warrior. You know what I mean? Like
I'll do it. I'll watch like on fast speed, like an hour a day.
An hour a day.
All right,
totally.
here you go. You'll be so pleased.
Totally. Just keep an eye out, folks. Too. I know that the architects and engineers from 9/11 Truth putting out this new feature-length documentary called Seven, which is going to be awesome. If you haven't heard the last Union of the Unwanted,
director from Loose Change.
Oh yeah. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Should have had that prepared. But also. Check out the last Union of the Unwanted if you haven't. Richard Gage and the director were both on there talking about the new project and just what architects and engineers is all about, man. AE911truth.org. Go support them, please. Go check out what they've got going on. There's just a wealth of resources and information, all kinds of their studies from Alaska Fairbanks, University of Alaska Fairbanks, that pretty much just shoots the whole NIST report that they were talking about into the dirt, you know what I mean? And it's just a wealth of information, and they're doing some big things. You know, they've got a lawsuit on behalf of one of the victims, I think in the UK. So they tried to get out of the US jurisdiction, and they've got a lawsuit going through the courts right now to try and uncover some more factual information. Like, in that Union of the Unwanted episode, they were talking about how do we keep this thing relevant, or do people even care anymore? Like, do people even really care about this anymore? And it's like, come on, guys, like, yes, like this is we're starting to get some light shed on it. I mean,
it's so connected into the agenda of what's going on now. That was like another stepping stone, and that's why it's super important. Even though it was so long ago, I fall into that. Like, it was so long ago, and I get it. I don't need to hear anything new, but really to keep plugged into what's going on with the agendas. Now it's really important to understand that whole thing and how that led to the Patriot Act and everything. This is really important.
Exactly, totally. It's like, we're still taking our shoes off at the airport. We still have all the same.
How many terrorists have they caught? How many terrorists has the TSA caught?
How many times have you taken your belt off to go through
because then it's going to be a vaccine, then it's going to be a chip. Where's your line, man?
Totally.
Where's your line?
Well, and the airlines are now kicking. Well, this is jumping into COVID. They're kicking kids off of planes now. 19-month-old was excused from, was it JetBlue the other day? American Airlines banning children from riding without masks. So, we know 2 airlines to boycott now. People. So anyway,
just don't.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, like I was saying before, you already know. You probably have a pretty good idea, but man, I like the anniversary. I'm just like listening to podcasts and like checking out stuff again, and I feel like there's just so much information that I hear things I've heard, and it's like it feels like the first time again. Like I was I just showed this one to Scott, like the Matrix that came out in 1999. Neo's passport expires on 9/11/2001. Are they taunting us? They are taunting us, man.
There's all kinds of
lots
different
to be said about that stuff that they show, like in the media and in movies that it's
predictive
prophetic,
programming,
essentially.
And
George Bush's George Senior Bush, his speech about the New World Order that was on Tuesday, September 11th, 1990, 11 years to the day, on a Tuesday before it, where I just feel like, man, you put all these things together, there's like this other side to it too, like the ritual side of it.
Totally.
It's really, it's
disturbing and it's interesting and it like draws you in.
You can get lost in that rabbit hole.
Sure.
Also,
so deep.
It's crazy. Yeah, the ground was broken for construction on the Pentagon on September 11th, 1941. So exactly 60 years before the Pentagon, the ground broke for the Pentagon construction. So, and it's a lot of crazy stuff and that was under Franklin Delano Roosevelt under his administration, and he was quoted as saying, "Nothing in politics happens by coincidence. If you see a coincidence, you can guarantee it was done on purpose." And he was the one that was in charge of the groundbreaking on the Pentagon in 1941 on September 11th. So I don't know. Think of that what you want. But it's all about like externalizing this stuff. Very much part of their religion is that they need to hint at what they're going to do before they do it. To take some of the onus of it off of them and say, well, we told you we were going to do it, right? It's kind of a cop-out sort of thing, and it's just part of the whole, their religion, right? So, man, guys, so, just be good to each other, man. Like, look for opportunities to come together. Remember the good old days of 9/11 and just come together and be one, right?
But really, as with all of the nightmare stuff that's going on around us, whether it's the riots, whether it's the fires, all of these things, I think that the opposite thing that's happening is people are coming together. They really are, and keep doing that, because that is the part that they don't want and that they don't expect, and that's where the power is.
Because when we come together, the terrorists don't win, right?
That's true. Right.
Don't let the terrorists win.
And the terrorists are in their offices right now, thinking that we don't matter. That's really the truth.
That's true.
Exactly. Awesome.
All right. Well, everybody, just a prayer of remembrance for all of the victims and families from 9/11.
Never forget.
Never forget. And also just keeping hope safe. America, we are still free. We are still very, very strong, and we are very proud.
But we're under attack.
We are.
It's
and
like
together,
a slow motion airplane coming right to
it's true.
Freedom Tower, dude.
It is. But let us band together. Let us band together and or to our Freedom Tower?
Our Tower of Freedom. It's a slow motion airplane just
took me a minute. I was almost done, and then did you say Freedom Tower?
Our Tower of Freedom, dude.
Okay. So
I can't help it, dude.
That'll be the next T-shirt I order. # Freedom Tower.
Oh man.
All right. Everyone, please let's use our intelligence and our energy in the direction of truth and love to everyone. Intellectual prosperity. Good night.
Pew, pew, pew.
A truth tower.
Oh, the truth tower.